Hey guys, welcome back to another video. My name is Glaire Cartago and this is the part 3 of my PGWP series. So this video is the third part of my PGWP series. The first one is the how I got my PGWP, wherein I talk about my experiences, what happened to my application and why I got delayed. And for the second part of the PGWP series, I taught you guys how to apply for your PGWP. So if you haven't seen that and you want to watch that after this video, I will be linking that on the description box below. So before we start, I just want to say a few important things before we begin with our IMM5710. So make sure that you have your Adobe Acrobat on your computer or your laptop before we begin, otherwise the document will not open. It might look like this. That means you have to open it with Adobe Acrobat. I will leave a link on the description box so you can download it right now before we begin. And another note that I want to share is make sure that you download your IMM570 from your portal because it is the latest version of your form. Okay, let's begin. So first of all, you wanna download the latest form. Go to your CIC portal, just click on that form, application form, and it will automatically download. Again, as I said in this video, you should be able to open the file with Adobe Acrobat Reader, which will be on the description box below if you haven't downloaded it yet. So this is what the application will look like. So it says application to change conditions, extend my stay or remain in Canada as a worker. So the first one is the UCI number. So the UCI client ID, or known as the unique client identifier, is a 10 or 8 digit that can be found above your student permit or work permit if you have. And the second one is the language. I want service in English or French. There's only 2 languages available, so just choose whatever you want. I am applying for one or more of the following. So choose apply for a work permit for the first time or with a new employee. So for the personal details, item 1 to 6 is all about your personal details. So write that down. So from your full name, gender, birthday, place of birth, country or territory, and citizenship, that's 1 to 6. So number 7 is the current country or territory of residence. As you can see, the country or territory, Canada, is already defaulted here. You can't change that or anything. And for the status, we have a drop down arrow here. Choose the student because you're still a student, right? If you choose the student, the space for other will automatically be blocked, so you can't write anything in there even if you wanted to. The date from should be the very first day you arrived in Canada. So you should be able to find that date on your student permit where it was issued to you for the very first time. The date to 2 is your study permit expiry date. Can be found on your student permit right here. Okay, so number 8, previous country or territories of residence. So during the past 5 years, have you lived in any country or territory other than your country or citizenship or your current country for more than 6 months? Well, in my case, for the past 5 years, I have stayed in a country for more than 6 months, so I answered yes. Below that, I answered the country that I've stayed in, which is United States of America. Status is other. I'm not really sure what to write down, so I just wrote down J1 visa. From, and then the to date. If your answer is no, everything will be blacked out. So number 9, your current marital status, mine is single. The rest will be blocked out, as you can see. And then at the bottom page here, you can see for official use only, so do not write anything on this page. So on the next page, we have here number 10. Have you previously been married or in a common law relationship? No. Answer whatever applies to you. For the languages, number 1, native language or mother tongue. If you're Filipino, then Tagalog. Are you able to communicate in English and or French? English. Have you taken a test from a designated testing agency to assess your proficiency in English or French? I did IELTS before, so probably that's what they want. So yes. For the passport, make sure that you write your passport information correctly. Country of territory, which will be found on your passport, your issue date and expiry date. For the national identity document, Filipinos don't have national identity documents, so just click on no. Items 2 to 5 will be automatically blacked out. If you don't have the USPR card, just click on no, and then we'll proceed to contact information. We have here current mailing address and then the residential address. For the majority, current mailing address and residential address are both the same, but there are cases that it's not. Basically, the mailing address is the place where your mail will be sent to, and the residential address is the place where you are living. Okay, so make sure that this is updated and make sure this is going to be the address that you will be for the next 6 months or so, because if you are approved, your PGWP will be sent to this mailing address. So write down your address and then head down to number 3, which is your telephone number. Write down your telephone number, and then I don't have any fax number or alternate telephone number, so I'm leaving it blank here. So for my email address, just write down your email address. And so yeah, next page 3 out of 6. So coming into Canada, number 1, date and place of your original entry to Canada. So this is the date of your very first entry to Canada as a student. Now that will be found on your passport or your student permit. And beside that is the place. In my case, I came through YVR Airport, BC. Okay, so number 2, the original purpose for coming to Canada, which is study. And number 3, date and place of your most recent entry to Canada if not the same as original entry. For example, if you came in 2018 and then ever since you didn't travel outside Canada, then you can just leave this blank. Otherwise, for example, in my case, ever since I came here, I traveled outside Canada. I went to Japan, I went back to the Philippines. Yeah, my most recent one was when I visited the Philippines back in 2019, December. So I wrote here 2019, December, and the date, and then the place where I had my entry to Canada, which is YVR Airport, Vancouver again. Number 4 is, if applicable, provide document number of the most recent visitor record, study permit, work permit, or temporary resident permit issued to you. You can write down here your study permit document number, which will be found in your study permit. And in this case, in my study permit, it will start with the letter F. Okay, details of intended work and study. So number 1, what type of work permit are you applying for? We are applying for post-graduation work permit. And take note of this one, items 2 to 7, you can leave it blank because you're applying for PGWP, and PGWP is an open work permit. This information does not apply for us. So number 8 is, have you been issued a certificate under provincial nominee program? Oh, my answer is no. So under education, we have here, have you had any post-secondary education, including university, college? My answer is yes. And write down your school information. The dates from is the date that you started your program, and then 2 is the date your program ended. So write down the necessary information like your program, your school, which city, country, and then province. So for your employment, we have here, give the details of your employment for the past 10 years, okay? Take note of that, 10 years, including if you have held any government position such as a civil servant, judge, police officer, mayor, member of parliament, and hospital administrator. First one, write the most recent one. If there is not enough space for you, you can always include that on your letter of explanation. Since they're asking for the past 10 years, I was able to include my previous work experience from the Philippines. So you can write that down here because they're looking for the past 10 years work experience. So for sure, some of you, they only provided 3 spaces for the employment details. So I actually included some of my details regarding this to my letter of explanation. So for the background information, you must complete this section if you are 18 years of age or older. Within the past 2 years, have you or your family member ever had tuberculosis of the lungs or been in close contact with a person with TB? No. So answer whatever applies to you. Do you have any physical or mental disorder? No. If you answered yes to whatever, there will be a space provided for you to explain your situation. So number 2, have you ever remained beyond the validity of your status? No. Have you ever been refused visa or permit, denied entry, or ordered to leave Canada? No. Letter C, have you previously applied to enter or remain in Canada? Yes, the answer is yes, because we applied before for study permit, right? Letter D here, if you answered yes to questions 2A, 2B, or 2C, please provide details. So just provide details here regarding letter C, saying that we applied for a student visa which got approved, and write down your document number. For example, for 2A, just list all your visa and permits previously applied for and when. So I just list down the details regarding my study permit, my document number, my issue date, my expiry date. You can also write your TRV, dates, document number, and expiry date for that one. So for number 3, have you ever committed or been charged with or convicted of any criminal offense in any country or territory? No. If yes, you can write your details on the space provided. Number 4, did you serve in military? No. Number 5, are you or have ever been a member or associated with any political party? No. Number 6, have you ever witnessed or participated in the ill treatment of prisoners or civilians, looting or desecration of religious buildings? No. Okay. And then here on the signature, in this part, you don't have to write any signature because this application cannot be printed out, cannot be filled out using your pen, only electronically, so you don't have to write your signature or anything else in this part. So just make sure to validate it, and then if you have answered something wrong, it should show you like this. But yeah, it should be validated, and then just proceed to validate it, and it should show you like this. It should show validation complete successfully, and that's it. Alright, that's just about it, you guys. Basically, if there's an item that you don't have to fill out, it usually blocks it, so you really can't write anything on the space. But if there's like spaces that's not blocked and you don't really have anything to write on, just leave it blank, because that's what I did anyway. Couple of things, the things that I've mentioned on your work experiences, if there's not enough space for you there, because as you've seen on the video, currently they have only 3 spaces for your experience. Pero if you have more than that, do include that on your LOE or your letter of explanation. What else? As I've said, on the number 2 to 7, just leave it blank because you're applying for PGWP, and PGWP is an open work permit, so you don't really have to fill that out. Also according to their website, I will be showing you the screen. So yeah, those are the things that you can actually include on your LOE or whatever it is that you think might help your application, or like might clear things up on your end. But yeah, anything that needs to be clarified, make sure to include it on your LOE. And if there's anything that you guys are confused about, I will try to answer that on the comment section below. Otherwise, any other concerns regarding PGWP, that will be answered on the next video, which is the FAQ for PGWP, which I will be linking on the description box below. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Just a little disclaimer again, this is just based all on my experience and the things that I have found on the internet, on their website specifically. If you want to know more, where I got it, the information, all of it will be linked on the description box below, so you can verify it yourself. But hopefully this video makes things a bit easier for you to understand what was on their website. Give a thumbs up on this video, share and subscribe if you haven't. I really do appreciate it. We are on our way to 15,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you and have a good day. Bye. I'll see you on my next video.